What's going on, guys? It's Moto here, bringing you something completely new and different, but I hope that I'll be bringing somewhat regularly, depending on news and stuff. So, I'm gonna make a theories video, since Nintendo said that they were gonna release some information on, I believe they said that they were gonna release it on the 21st or 2nd. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. It's gonna be Pokemon related, they said, so I'm just gonna... I have two theories on what it's going to be. Both of them are already out there, but I decided that I would make one because I wanted to get into theory videos also. And I have a lot of really good ideas, I think. Probably people have already said them, but I haven't heard all of them said, so I'm just going to come right out and say a couple. First, the big one, which I hope happens, but I don't think is going to happen, to be honest. A remake of Pokemon Yellow. Yeah, Pokemon Yellow was first generation. It was the first game where Pokemon walked outside its Pokeball. And I've actually never got to play it. I played it on a ROM now, but I've never played it when it came out, just because I had Red and Blue, but I guess never got to Yellow. I don't know, I never got it, so I've played it on a ROM, but never on its own. So I kind of hope they do it, but then at the same time, the next thing that might happen, I hope they do 10 times more, and that is Pokemon Z, or Pokemon XZ or YZ. I hear that a lot, that might happen. So basically what it is since in the Kalos region, they had Zygarde, and it didn't really do much at all. Like, there was really no point to Zygarde, other than being like a legendary and just throwing it in the game. That's all it seems like it was used for, really. There was no story with it. And if you actually read the description of it, it said, like, it's... When the Kalos region's ecosystem falls into disarray, it appears and reveals its secret power. That's from X, and from Y, it's hypothesized that it's monitoring those who destroy the ecosystem from deep in the cave where it lives, being Terminus Cave, obviously. So, my thought, at least, is that that Pokemon Z, or anything that's going to be called, is going to happen after X and Y actually did happen, so after Lysandre used the ultimate weapon and destroyed it. But since it has consequences, obviously. Like, look at the nuclear bombs in Hiroshima, and I always forget the other one. It'll just come to me in a bit. But just look at what they did. There's still lasting effects going on now. So basically, what I feel is going to happen is that the ecosystem, something's going to be wrong with it. So Zygarde is going to be the main legendary in it, and basically what's going to happen, in my opinion at least, Zygarde's going to be the main legendary, and you're going to have to, and that's going to be the entire story, is like there's a new Team Flare or something. They're trying to keck Zygarde for their own use so they can try to rule the entire ecosystem and change whatever they want. And basically just, you're trying to stop them as usual, but you're getting the badges and everything. So it's basically going to be like Black White 2, and how it was a sequel to that. And it's basically just going to be that, but it focuses more on Zygarde and not Yveltal or Xerneas. Another key piece of information that makes me think Pokemon Z is going to be coming out is actually two moves that never came out: 1000 Waves and 1000 Arrows. They're both ground types with PP of 10, base power 90, and accuracy 100. And 1000 Waves, the user attacks with a wave that crawls along the floor or the ground. Those hit can't flee from battle. And 1000 Arrows, same PP, base power, and accuracy. This move hits opposing Pokemon that are in the air. These Pokemon are knocked down to the ground. So basically, they're both ground moves. Zygarde's a ground type. And if you actually have ever seen the animations, they look like they're green. They have the The arrows, obviously, and they just look very Zygarde-ish. I'm not sure how you describe it, basically, but they look like moves that Zygarde would use because, like, the coloration, ground typing, just everything points to Zygarde using them. And its main attack moves. They haven't been released yet, but there's a lot of speculation, and most people just already think that that's what's going to happen. That it's just going to get those two moves, and that's going to be its signature. We're not sure what's happening yet, but we're hoping with the announcement that we're going to learn a little bit more details. But, again, Game Freak and Nintendo have done some crazy things, so who knows what we're going to be getting, really. So, another thing I just wanted to touch on was we still have an entire legendary that we know we know a lot about, but it hasn't been introduced yet, being Volcanion, the first fire-water type, which I am excited for because I've used that on Pokemon Showdown once. I love it already. It's probably going to be one of my favorite legendaries. And just touching on, like, Zygarde Volcanion in general, it has so much potential to be in this game because fire, water, that's elements, so basically it's just going to be like, ecosystem. It's just going to be, like, focused all around the ecosystem, Volcanion being water, fire. That's two things that are very economic. I don't know what you'd call it. Not economical. That's money and stuff. But ecological. There we go. Ecological. And it's just this entire game, or everything just seems to revolve around the ecosystem, and just everything from Zygarde to just, like, even X and Y. Death with Yveltal. Life with Xerneas. When Yveltal is awoken, he kills everything around him, basically. And when he's put to sleep, kills everything again. So, that doesn't just mean Pokemon, humans, and stuff. That means trees, grass, everything in the area that's alive. That's why I think that since you woke him up, something negative is going to happen, probably being what I've mentioned, that the ecosystem is going to be completely messed up, and Zygarde is going to be the main legendary in it, and that's when we're also going to meet Volcanion. Wow, I've said a lot. Yeah, so let's just do a quick recap, and then I'm just going to get going. So, news from Nintendo, 21st or 22nd, can't remember when, one of those days, I'm pretty sure. Pokemon Yellow remake, probably not going to happen, but there are some rumors. I'm not sure where they started from, but there are rumors, so who knows. The more likely, Pokemon Z or XZYZ, which that's what I'm thinking is going to happen, and a lot of other people I know think that's going to happen, so... And there's a lot of things that point right to Pokemon Z happening. Like, all the moves I talked about, 1,000 Waves, 1,000 Arrows, they point to it. Zygarde being just there points to it. Even Volcanion points to it a little bit. So, all of those things aside, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think is going to happen. What do you think the information is going to be? Are you excited for Pokemon Z, Pokemon Yellow remake? Let me know all in the comment section down below. This is Moto, signing off.